Hey guys, and welcome to another tutorial. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make this cheese in Blender 2.81. We're also going to be using the render engine EV. It's just a basic scene. We just have one object here, and then we have a plane and some basic lights set up. You can use the same principle that we're going to be using to make cut the holes in the cheese. We're using the Boolean modifier. You can use that on a lot of different things as well. So I think you guys will find this tutorial quite informative and quite useful. So let's get into the tutorial, and I'll show you guys how we set this all up. Okay, so I have a brand new scene open up in Blender. I've gone ahead and deleted the camera and the lamp. With the default cube selected, we're going to tab into edit mode. What we're going to do is go to our vertice select mode here, and we're going to select the top vertices here, these two. And then we're going to right click, and we're going to go down to merge vertices, and we're going to go merge at center. And we're going to do the same with the bottom two. So select this one, holding shift, select this one, right click, go to merge vertices and at center. Then we're going to hit A to select all the vertices, and then we're going to go S, X, and we're going to scale it along the X, like so. Go to our front view, and then G, Z, and we're going to move it up to where that red line is. Then we're going to go Control B, and we're going to roll the middle mouse button, and we're going to add some soft edges. Then we're going to tab out of edit mode, and what we're going to do now is go to our Modifiers tab, we're going to go Add, and we're going to add a subdivision surface. And then we're going to go to our object, and we're going to enable smooth shading. Now what we're going to do is in our front view, go Shift A, we're going to add a UV sphere. And then what we're going to do is go to object, we're going to enable smooth shading. And we're going to move it roughly to the middle here, like that. Then we're going to tab into edit mode. Then we're going to go G, and we're going to move it to the side, and we're going to scale it down. And what you can do now is just go Shift D and start duplicating this sphere. And what you're going to do is make bubbles, because we're going to be doing a Boolean modifier. So we're going to be placing these bubbles in the cheese anywhere we want there to be like a cavity. So Shift D, I'm just going to duplicate it and make it as random as possible. Shift D, play around with the scale. So this is all you do. It's just kind of like randomly scale and duplicate. So Shift D, move one here, for example. So you guys get the picture. So I'm just going to go ahead and just finish this off, and I'll show you guys what it looks like. Okay, so here you have it. I've gone ahead and duplicated it a few times and made some different scales. It can be whatever you want. Make it as random as you want, but I'm going to go with something like this. Then I'm going to tab out of edit mode. And with that done, what we're going to do is grab our cheese here, and I'm just going to make the viewport display 2. Then I'm going to go and add a Boolean modifier. I'm going to click on the little eyedropping tool here, and I'm going to select the spheres. And then what we're going to do is add, and I'm going to add a edge split. And now we have our cheese here. So if we grab these spheres here and hit H, we can hide them, and we can see we have our cheese. So let's just unhide that. And then what we can do is grab our cheese here, and I'm going to go apply the subdivision surface, then I'm going to apply the Boolean, and I'm going to apply the edge split. Then grab the spheres and go X and delete. So here we have our cheese. That's a really quick, easy way to model a cheese. And then what we can do with our cursor still in the center is go Shift A, Mesh, we're going to add a plane. We're going to hit S8 to scale it up 8 times. And then we're going to kind of move around in the viewport, get a position that we like, and we're going to go Shift A. We're going to add a camera. Then we're going to hit 0 to go into our camera view. And then we're going to hit G and our middle mouse button and just pull back to zoom our camera out. I'm going to go with something like that. Then I'm going to go to my camera settings, and I'm going to make the focal length 75 and just readjust it. And if you hit double R, you can kind of rotate your camera in 3D space. So I'm just going to move it around to something that I like. Okay, I'm going to go with this. So that's a nice pose for me. And now what we can do is start getting into our lighting and our materials. So the first thing we're going to do is add our lamp. So go to our front view, go Shift A, we're going to go to light, and we're going to add a lamp. So we're going to go an area lamp. We're going to hit G to move it up to about here. Then we're going to take the size, take it up to about 4, and the power we're going to make 2000. Then I'm going to rotate it like so, and then hit G to move it here. Go to our top view, rotate it like so, move it up a bit. And then we're going to go Shift D to create another one and rotate it, and G to move it. and then just one at the back, like so. Okay, and then what we're going to do is go to our render settings here, make sure it's set to EV, enable ambient occlusion. Probably don't have to worry about bloom, just hit the screen space reflections as well, and also enable refraction. So if we go to our camera view now, and we go and look at rendered, we can see here we have our lighting, so let's add a material. So I'm going to select the cheese here, go to the materials tab, and we can see we have a material by default, so I'm just going to name it cheese. And I'm going to make the color a yellow color, like so. And to make this look really awesome, we can take our this guy here, this subsurface, and just drag it up a little bit to get that subsurface scattering. And then we can grab our plane here at the bottom, go new, let's just call it floor. And we can make the color anything you want. I'm going to go with like a purplish kind of color. I'm going to make it metallic. And I'm going to just drag the roughness down a little bit. Okay, and what you can do is just grab the lamp here to the side and maybe just bring the intensity down to 1200. It's a bit intense. Maybe the one at the back as well, I'll bring that one down. And grab this guy. So just mess around with your lighting and settings. Yeah, that's how you make a cheese. And you can play around with this subsurface setting here. I think a value of about 0.17 is good. And maybe grab your plane here, you can make it a little bit darker. I like that kind of look. And yeah, so now just go to your render and hit render. And that's how you make a fairly realistic looking cheese in Blender. I hope you guys found this tutorial useful. I hope you can use the same principles with the Boolean shader to make other cool things. If you do, go to Instagram and share it on Twitter, whatever you guys like. So I'll see you guys for another tutorial. Thank you.